The little brass bell over the door of Harrison's Guns and Ammo jingled on a quiet Tuesday afternoon. Ben Harrison, a grizzled Vietnam veteran with kind, weary eyes, barely looked up from the counter as he polished a Winchester rifle. Business had been slow lately, too many big box stores squeezing little guys like him. That's when she walked in. She looked out of place. A woman in her early 30s, dressed in scrubs, her dark hair hastily tied back. She held her purse close, like it was her last possession in the world. Her eyes were red, and her face pale. She stopped just inside the door and stood there, scanning the rows of firearms on the walls with a kind of numb dread. Ben immediately felt the tension in her. After decades of watching men in his platoon crack under pressure, he could see it clear as day. She was carrying something heavy. He set the rifle down. "Afternoon, ma'am. Anything I can help you with?" She swallowed hard before speaking. I need a gun," she said. Her voice cracked. "Something strong." Ben nodded slowly. "All right. We've got all kinds. But before we get into that, mind telling me what you're looking to use it for? Self-defense? Hunting?" Her lips trembled. "No. Not hunting." That silence between them stretched into something thick and painful. Ben came around the counter and gestured to a small wooden chair. "Why don't you sit a spell?" At first, she didn't move. Then, like the strength drained from her legs, she collapsed into the chair, covering her face with her hands. He crouched in front of her. "What's your name?" "Anna," she whispered. "Anna," he said gently. "My name's Ben. And I've been around long enough to know that whatever you're thinking of doing, it doesn't have to go that way." Tears slipped between her fingers. "I can't do this anymore," she sobbed. "I work double shifts at the hospital. My son, he's sick. Cancer. The bills keep coming and coming. His father's gone. I've sold everything I can. I don't see any way out. I just want the noise to stop." Ben sat back on his heels, his chest tight. He thought of his own son, killed overseas, and the nights he himself had stared at a pistol and wondered if anyone would miss him. Quietly, he stood, walked to the register, and picked up the phone. He dialed a number from memory. "Pastor? It's Ben. Yeah. I've got someone here who needs us. Right now." When he hung up, Anna looked up, confused. "I'm not gonna sell you a gun, Anna," he said. "But I'm also not gonna let you walk out of here feeling like you got no one. You're not alone in this." Within 15 minutes, the bell jingled again. A middle-aged woman in a blue sweater came in, her arms wide open. "Anna? Oh honey." Anna let herself be pulled into a hug. Soon, the pastor arrived, too, and then one of Ben's regulars, an old mechanic who quietly slipped Ben $50 to give to her. The little gun shop filled with people, strangers who had dropped everything just to be there for a woman they didn't know. Someone started passing around a hat. Someone else said they'd talked to the hospital's social worker about her son. And Anna just stood in the middle of it all, stunned silent, her tears flowing freely. 1 hour later, she walked out of the gun shop, but not with a gun. She walked out with the weight on her shoulders just a little lighter, and with half a dozen phone numbers stuffed in her pocket. She walked out knowing that in her darkest hour, people she didn't even know showed her that humanity still had good in it. And everyone who'd been there stood quiet in the shop after she left, as if they all knew they'd just witnessed something sacred. Ben looked at the door for a long time before murmuring, "That's what we're supposed to be here for. Some days, it's not about selling. Or fixing. Or even knowing the right words. Some days, it's about being the one who reminds someone else, you matter. You're not alone. And the world still has people who care." And that day, in a dusty little gun shop on a quiet Tuesday afternoon, that truth left everyone in silence, and in awe.